Well, welcome. Welcome to day 5. Let me just get my um oh, my moon calendar fell off the wall. I usually have something behind me and I'm noticing it's not there. That's okay. I need stronger tape. So, anywho, welcome to day 5 here. I am so excited to be bringing you these codes of awe, these one code for 12 days in December. And these are just amazing ways to kind of integrate the activation of different strands of your DNA into your own personal healing process and into the healing process that you use with other people or for other people, even if that's just through you benefiting it yourself from it yourself. So I've been talking a lot about the gene keys lately. It seems like I go in waves with my study of the gene keys, and I'm going in a big wave right now. And I think the codes have activated that. I did this codologist certification in September and October, and I kind of stepped back from a lot of activity during that time because there was a lot going on in my life, and then also the studying and just wanting to make sure that I was honoring what I was doing, the certification. And I have my tea. I gotta remember I have my tea. I've got some chamomile tea for this evening chat. Get your tea. Oh, that's got a lot of honey. That's nice. Maybe more honey than it needed. So it's a wave, and I'm coming into the gene keys again. And the gene keys talks a lot about codes and activations. And as you read the gene keys, even if you read keys that aren't yours, that aren't specifically in your profile, which that happens when I'm studying my family's gene keys right now, and there's some duplicates. There's some scary duplicates, meaning, oh, I see my biggest deal, part of my activation sequence, my radiant sphere, which is, one of the anchor points of my core stability, what keeps me stable as a person. And that shadow shows up twice for my oldest son in his Venus sequence, which is the sequence of, our sacred wounding, which comes through the womb. We have the first stages of our sacred wounding that get transferred to us while we're actually in our mother's womb. And that's because we have all this ancestral healing that's supposed to come and happen through us. And finally, we're this Aquarian age, we're the generation that is able to really start working on some of that ancestral wounding and just getting it brought up and transmuted and worked away. And I've got a lot of codes that help heal deep levels of ancestral wounding, which I actually will get into those and doing some activations with those in my private group in January and February and into March. So if you're interested in that, it's a special activation series. We do more than one code each session, and then you take a few days to integrate. So let me know if you're interested in any of that. That's coming up. Okay, so this code, let me go ahead and show you the code because it appears I have a baby screaming and crying in the background, and who knows how long my husband will be able to keep him under control. So let me show you this code because I really do love this code. It's actually here before I show you the code. I think you're still seeing me. Before I show you the code, it's the code that's been sitting on my iPad, for ever since I got this codologist. Now I'll share it. Ever since I did this codologist training. So here's the code. The Human Needs Awareness for Relationships Mastery Code of Awe. That's my calendar there that's fallen down. Oh my goodness, I love this code. And this code is really, really beneficial for families. I mean, human needs awareness. What more important aspect of figuring out what human needs are than that of the family? That's what the family unit is designed to do, is to help with our needs, our human needs. Every single relationship that we enter into in this life experience, even the ones that are, especially the ones that are the most challenging, especially the ones that are the most challenging, every single one of the relationships is there for our own personal growth. And it is the most challenging relationships that tend to give us the best material to really dig deep into that growth. I'm getting some people joining. So hi. Hi, Sharon. Hi. Hi, Jeremy. Okay, well, if you tell me, uh, if you tell me what kind of acronyms you're having a hard time understanding, I can maybe let you know, Jeremy. I have somebody joining my live stream here that's got some questions, which is totally cool. You can also catch up on the previous live streams because these are meant to build on top of each other. So when we're talking about really looking at the aspects of what the human needs are and our relationships, and we have to look at this from the perspective of, okay, yes, it's a challenging relationship for us, but where can I grow from this? And a lot of times when you turn that around to really focus on what the other person who's maybe causing the problem or bringing up that specific scenario that needs attention, what are their needs? What do they need in this moment? And sometimes it's really challenging to get to that place where you are able to look at a situation in that manner. Okay. And so this is the code that I like to use when I've got a situation like that going on. You know, if I can, that's why I have it on my iPad, because as the screensaver, because I really am like, okay, I can just grab my iPad and I don't have to look through anything. I can just look at the code really quickly, and I can benefit from it. And that's what's nice to do with these codes. And then also when I'm looking at, say, for example, let's bring it back to the gene keys for a moment. And when I'm looking at my family's gene keys and I'm investigating what's going on right now, I'm looking at the teenage cycles that each of my children are going to be going into, as well as my own teenage cycle and my husband's teenage cycle from age 15 to 21. And I can look at my children's and I can contemplate it as much as I want, and I can almost project the shadows that they're going to have in the future and the scenarios that those are going to look like. But honestly, I stop once I go too crazy into the mental sphere of this imagination and this like what, who knows, maybe they won't turn out exactly like this. Not that the gene keys lie, but that maybe because I know about the gene keys, I'm going to help really be able to help them work into that gift energy at a much sooner age, a much earlier age, or at least have the tools so that when the shadows show up, they're able to look at them. Remember, you got the allow, accept, embrace model that the gene keys have, so they can allow these shadows to be, because that's what they're going to be, but the acceptance can happen a lot faster, and then they can embrace them and really move into the gifts. So I use this code on myself. I meditate with this code before I go into a contemplation process for my kids' gene keys, for example. And what I mean by that is because I want to find out what do they need me. Like, I open up my Akashic records, I open up the Akashic records of my kids, and I use this code. And as I'm meditating, as I'm bringing it through all my chakras, and I'm imagining my children as well, kind of in the same auric field when I complete the meditation, so that their energy bodies are taking advantage of this magical, beautiful code, who's been looking at this code the whole time, and it's starting to even change colors a little bit. I feel like it looks more green when you first start looking at it. And then there's a lot of vibrancy in the oranges and the yellows that come through. There's some white in there that you don't see necessarily right away. And of course, it's very pink. But there's the green and the pink. Those are both of the colors of the chakras right here, heart chakra, and then near the thymus and the heart seed chakra as well. And so these two different colors of stones are very supportive for those chakras, and this code is very supportive for that. So I'll ask this code to help me be directed to the needs that the other person has as I'm contemplating their gene keys for my children, for example. Or if you're going to take this in a different direction, and maybe it's just an experience with your child, there's a disagreement, or you want to, you need to help you need to be able to understand maybe a little bit more about what your child's going through, and you're going to go there and have a conversation with them. Maybe they're a little bit older. You can use this code on yourself a few minutes right there before the conversation to really open yourself up to what their needs are in that conversation. And so you're not just solely focused on you. Your growth will happen when you can facilitate that kind of awareness. So this is a code that's helpful when imbalances occur with couples or with disagreements with children or teenagers. It is a code that's very helpful to remind us that we don't need to take everything personally. We don't need to take it all personally. I wasn't really necessarily using this code as frequently when I first started to get some epiphanies about my kids in the gene keys sequence, and especially my oldest son, and having some of the keys, some of my activation sequence keys, that one that I was mentioning, my radiance, that shows up 2 other times in his profile in the Venus stream, which I'm kind of responsible for the Venus, for some of the wounding. I mean, you just so that's where I would use this code, is we don't need to take it personally. I got to that place where I felt really responsible. I was like, whoa, his shadows are like his challenges, his childhood wounding, the way he's, in one case, I think it's it's the early phase, and then it's the teenage one. I think it's both. So I'd have to look it up a little bit. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's, it's his attraction sphere. It's 2 of them. I can't remember, and I don't have his paper in front of me right now. And it's not that important. The detail isn't important, but it's the way I was feeling. I was feeling personally responsible. I was like, oh my God, I gave him this stress. I gave him this shadow of stress. I don't have restraint in my life, hardly what I could or should. And it's already, it's in there. It's in him from the age of the 0 to 7 range, and he's 5 right now. So of course I'm just barely starting to understand this shadow work and start diving deep into it now. Of course I'm a little late on the game. So I was taking it personally. It was challenging for me. So when you are going deeper into these kinds of modalities for yourself and your family, you've got to learn and be able to not take it personally. And this code can support that. It helps to remind us to walk in the other's shoes, to have compassion, and to give more love and understanding as we truly listen to what others need without judgment. Okay, so there's all sorts of amazing, beautiful energy that this code has sort of programmed into it to help activate within us. So I want you to keep those things in mind. We're gonna begin the meditation here right now. Hello, Holly. Hi. So go ahead and just relax as you look at this code. Relax, relax. Let the code frequency start to move. It's a living consciousness code. I keep saying that over and over, which just means that this code is just as alive as you and I are, especially when you're using it, when you're working with it like we are in a meditation. So this code, like I said, it's really beneficial for families, for couples, for children, for parents, for any time you need to be able to see maybe things. I guess the right way to say it would be to see things from a greater perspective. So this code is supporting us in our sight, our clear vision. So I want us to get a really good visual imprint of this code. Really start just, if this is one of those eye muscle exercises, what we're doing, where we're focusing on it in a relaxed and yet steadfast kind of way, I really want you to make that happen for your eyes right now. Yeah. And again, as a reminder, if anybody needs a reminder of what I mean by this, it's like you're trying to see the hidden picture in here, the magic eye picture, which there isn't one. There's not one hidden picture. The frequencies will do different things for you. They'll pulse in different ways, or dance, or move, or vibrate, or whatever, however you want to explain it. They'll do different things based on what you need in that moment. So go ahead and take a deep breath in and close your eyes, and then inhale this code as you breathe in through your third eye. So close your eyes, and if you put your eyes in that focal point between your eyebrows and right slightly in the middle of your forehead, you should see this code still in that impression point. And go ahead and breathe it in and send it all the way down to the center of the earth. And then we're going to actually breathe it right back up, have it meet our crown chakra. Imagine it resting right there, spinning around, helping us sort of have this greater perspective of the experiences that we are encountering within our relationships. Allow this code to spin, and you've got the beautiful brilliant green, which actually transmutes into some yellow and orange and white and pink on the outside. And it's actually spinning in a way that it's filling your auric field. So you can imagine the space all the way around your body, about an arm's length on all sides, above and below, everywhere, is filling up with this pink radiance from the outer edges of this code. And then kind of like, boy, I had the image of like getting beamed up. Beam me up, Scotty. I don't know. You guys watch like Star Trek, I think is this one. Beam me up, Scotty. It's like gonna come and the whole code is moving down right now. I'm imagining it moving down. My eyes are closed, and it's taking care of my auric field. It's taking care of my human body, my casual body, my mental body, my emotional body, my Buddhic body, my Atmic body. It's really taking care of all of these different frequency bodies that we embody, besides just this one that we can touch. And it's moving all the way down, all the way down. And it's settling right underneath you. With all that pink goes right underneath you. But then the center of the code connects you straight down, all the way down with the Earth Star chakra. And it's this Earth Star chakra that really helps ground us, and it helps ground this code in our own reality. And I'm going to ask the power of Mother Earth and Gaia and all the souls that have walked here before you, all of your ancestors, all of your relatives, even those that you don't feel are connected to you, because we all are. We are a part of the same one source. So I'm going to ask the energy of all of us to come together to facilitate this healing and this activation of the human needs awareness for relationships mastery code of awe. By the power of divine light, truth, love, wisdom, and guidance, I now activate this code in every chakra of our energy body, our casual body chakras, and our extended auric field chakras above, below, all the way around us. It's going to be active in all of our meridians within our body, as well as the meridians in the earth and the sky, so that we can support the human needs awareness of every human in incarnation at this time, and every human that's going to be incarnated at a time in the future. Although I'm laughing because I'm starting to really have less of an understanding of what time really is, and more of an understanding that it doesn't really matter. So go ahead and open your eyes again and look at this code. What changed? So I open my eyes and I see the outer edges of the code. It's almost like it kind of brought it together. And so I saw there's like maybe lighter pink points on the outer outside edges of that star. And those really popped out for me. you can do all sorts of exercises with these codes. You can meditate with them. You can journal how they change for you. You can come at these codes when you're right in the middle of an argument or an experience with a person. And instead of saying something you might regret, you just say, hey, I need a few minutes. I just need a few minutes. And you go and you take care of yourself by using one of your metaphysical tools. And then also you take care of the relationship as well. All right, you guys, I am going to go be with the rest of my awake family. Maybe the baby's asleep. Sometimes he hasn't quite made it there, but I'm going to go be with them. I hope you enjoyed this activation. I hope you enjoyed seeing the tools that I am using for myself and my clients, my family, and just the way I can go through this shadow work without having it affect me in a personal way beyond that which I'm supposed to have. I mean, the shadows of our children aren't necessarily supposed to affect us in a personal way. However, for us to connect with those shadows and understand how to help our children learn to transmute them. These are like the life skills that they talk about. These are like spiritual life skills. So I'm going to be putting together a coaching program for 2020 that has to do with really understanding your family's gene keys. So you'll probably want to start understanding your own. And if you need any help with that, please reach out, because we can have a one-on-one session at any point and give you a little bit more information about your gene keys. And I always try to do 1 or 2 personal code activations in all of my private sessions. So this is some magical yumminess that you can look forward to if you book a session with me. Have a wonderful evening.